Welcome, beautiful yogis. So I have got no mat today. I'm going to connect my feet onto the earth. Now, wherever you are, just make sure that you are able to disconnect for the next 20-30 minutes for your practice. If you do have a habit of wearing your smartwatches, just make sure those notifications are off. Okay, let's begin. We are going to start today in a standing position, anywhere on your mat. Close your eyes, and I'd like you to bring left hand onto the heart. So just a little bit onto the left side, and right hand just underneath your belly button. Close your eyes, stand as tall as you can. Close your mouth and try to breathe only through the nose. So let's take a nice big deep breath in. And nice slow breath out again through the nose. Nice big deep breath in. And let it go. So deep in your inhale. And slow the exhale. Continue to stand tall, shoulders back. A few more breaths. Let it go. 2 more. Slow it down. Good, 1 more. Connect with that heartbeat. Big deep breath in. And slowly let it go. Okay, breathe normally. See if you can feel your heartbeat underneath that left hand. And the right hand is placed so that you maybe can feel the belly rise and fall as you breathe. It's a nice little gauge to become aware of how deep your breath is. So these deep abdominal breaths. Okay, when you're ready, let's open the eyes, standing nice and tall. It's a little simple grounding tool to start our practice with today. So it is springtime here in Australia as I'm filming this class. So my feet are going to be grounded on this earth to help just allow any negativity, any stress to be neutralized, as we are the same energy as the ground. So we are going to start with a nice wide stance. Turn your feet out a little. Going to go into goddess squat. So palms together, lifting tall through the crown of your head. Palms are pressing so that your arms are actively working here. As you breathe out, squat down. Now your knees are pressing out to the side. If you notice your knees coming in, pull them out. Now you might need to adjust the footing of your position of your footing. So lifting tall, big deep breath in, breathing out, maybe squat a little lower. Tailbone tucks under, crown of the head lifting tall. Breathe. Good. I'm going to take 3 more breaths. Maybe squat down a little lower. Good. Try not to clench your teeth. Try not to hold your breath here. Nice. Let's press those heels out. Let's forward fold. So you want to be in a position where you can feel the back of the legs, but you're not pulling the back of the knees. So if you are, slightly soften your knees and bring your weight slightly forward. If your hands don't quite touch the mat, you can always grab a hold of your ankles, your shin bones, or alternatively your big toes. So tailbone reaching high, allow your head to lengthen down. So springtime requires a little bit more energy, a little bit more fire. Good, especially coming out of winter. So there's going to be a little bit of core work today. Let's take 1 more breath here. Good, now bend your knees and lift your chest up halfway. So you want a nice long spine. Keep one hand down, either fingertips onto the ground or hand pressing flat. Reach up with your arm towards the ceiling. Looking towards your fingertips. 1 more breath. And release back down. Let's take the other side. Big deep breath in, reach it up, keep breathing. If you feel a little tight through the legs here, bend your knees, that should help Try not to force the rotation. Good, gently release. Let's do one more round to each side. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Take one more breath. So standing windmills. Okay, opening up, other side. Breathe. Always remember, if there is any pain or injuries, please adjust and modify your poses. Yoga is not about forcing your way into flexibility. Okay, we're going to walk the hands towards your right foot. We're going to square our hips coming into a nice low lunge. Now, this is one option. If you need to modify, drop the back knee down. So regardless of where you are, whether knees on the mat or not, you're going to gently push the hips back and forward. If your knee's off the ground, you press a bit more through the heel and the toes. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Front foot is flat. So grounding through that heel. Good, let's take one more breath here. Nice little hip opener. And we're going to walk the hands all the way now to the left foot, so the back of your mat. And again, let's rock back and forward in our lunge. Keep breathing. Keep the shoulders relaxed. That's it, good. Okay, one more breath. Okay, let's step your left leg back into your plank. Take your feet as wide as your mat. If you're not on the mat like I am, just take them a little bit wider than your shoulders. Swivel onto the edges of your feet. Doesn't matter which side you want to start with. My left hand is down, so I'm swiveling to my right. Right arm will reach up to the sky. Now, if you need to modify, this is too much pressure for your wrist, lower the left knee down underneath your hip. So that gives you a little bit more support. Otherwise, your legs are wide, reaching up high. One more breath. Reach the right arm forward and down. Let's swivel the feet over to your other edges and rotating open, side plank. One more breath here. Good. Reach the hand forward and down. Let's come into your plank. Just make sure everything's tucked in. All right, drop the knees down. We're going to lower the chest to the mat. Your chin comes forward, your bum's up. So elbows are in, which requires a little bit of upper arm strength. Slide your body forward, lift up, chin to the sky, shoulders down away from you. Now I've come up quite substantially, so if this hurts your back or if it's just not available to you, just stay in a position that does work for you. So it's a bit more of an up dog. Again, depending on who you speak to, cobra, upward facing dog. As long as you're feeling the extension through the front of the body and the shoulders are not taking the load, it really doesn't matter what variation you choose to go into. Okay, let's lower down, press into downward facing dog. Okay, so press the heels up and down. Let your head hang, so looking towards where your feet are. Keep breathing. Spread your toes. If you're sitting a lot, you might find your hamstrings start to shorten from the hips being hinged all day. So giving your legs a nice good stretch out here is really going to benefit not only your hamstrings and the back of your legs, but also your lower back. Okay, we're going to take one more breath. Then we're going to do one more round of our side plank. So float forward into your high plank, take your feet wide. And if you need to modify, drop that left knee down. We're going to turn to your right. Take the right arm to the sky, press your hips up. Keep your head back in line with your spine. One more breath here. Good. Reach it forward and down, over to the other side. Swiveling, open up, press the hips up. One more breath. And reach it forward, hands back down into your 4-point plank. And if you need to, you can always drop your knees down as your core builds up strength. Okay, lower the knees. We lower the chest between the hands, chin comes forward. So we're lengthening through the front of the body, strengthening those arms. Slide it through, big deep breath in, hold your cobra. Again, shoulders down. Inhale, exhale. One more breath. contract your buttocks. This will help to activate your glutes and protect your lower back. All right, lower the chest down, back into down dog. Yeah, let's walk the feet in place again. It's one of my favorite little moves in down dog. I get to notice how tight my feet are, my toes are tense, and I get to feel each calf differently as opposed to when you're pressing them both down. It's just, you feel things differently. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take the legs wide again towards the edges of your mat, or wider than your shoulder width, shoulder length. Bend your knees. We're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. So not quite a wide-legged fold, but not quite a standing forward fold, somewhere in the middle. Lower the head down. We're going to take one more breath here. And then we're going to keep the chin tucked in. Bend your knees, roll up like a rag doll. Keep breathing. If you get any sort of dizziness or you have blood pressure issues, take your time and be patient when you come up, let everything settle. Then we bring the feet closer together and we do our hip circles. Good. Big circles around. More than anything, continue to breathe. Okay, let's change directions. Okay, so we're going to go into the knees. So springtime, we focus a little bit more on the tendons and the joints. They do feel a little bit stiffer. The element, if you look into Chinese medicine, so both directions with your knees, is wood. So can feel a little stuck. So keeping that energy moving. Okay, let's go into our awakening of the feet. So bring the feet closer together. If your feet are too wide apart, you're not quite getting the same weight or the load through the feet and the toes, which is what we're wanting to focus on as we strengthen the muscles in our feet. We're all in shoes these days. So depending on high arch, flat arch, internal rotation, supination with the feet, there's a lot going on. So we work with what we've got. We build our strength so that regardless of how our foot is positioned, we can do what we want to do. Okay, so a couple more. And then we go into ankle rolls. So springtime can have a bit of wind in the air. So usually makes us feel a little ungrounded. So be mindful of that. Energetically, we can feel a little off when it's windy. Keep breathing. So both directions, about 5 circles each way, doesn't have to be exact. And if you find one leg is a little bit lazier than the other, that's normal. We've always got a favorite side. Okay, so we're gonna step or jump your feet wide again. Nothing too wide. Hands will be down the legs. We're gonna reach down to one side. Be mindful you don't collapse forward. And then reach back up and over the other side. Okay, good. So lengthening. Okay, so we are working wind spring chime, the organs of your gallbladder and your liver. Good, so nice long side stretches will help with those meridian lines. If you would like to look into a bit more of that information, just type in, organs or Chinese medicine, springtime, and you'll see what gets connected. Okay, one more round, each side. Nice work. All right, come back to center. We're gonna bring palms together. We're gonna swivel our feet to the left. So swivel your right foot in, left foot forward. Okay, palms are together. Just bend your back leg. So you should feel a little bit more into that right hip. We're gonna lean forward, so your belly's not on the thigh, you're lifting tall. Bring your arms back, palms face down, head reaching forward. Good, nice, strong. So as you can see, the back heel is lifting, so I'm on the balls of my feet. Belly is in, shoulders are down, fingertips reaching back. Should be no back pain. If there is, bring your chest up higher. One more breath. Good, bring the arms to the sky. We're gonna take your right hand onto the left thigh and take left arm straight back behind you. Palm is open. If you find any shoulder pain, bend your back elbow. Keep reaching, keep trying to look behind you. Bit of a challenge here with your balance. This is what awakening of the feet helps with. 2 more breaths. Good, swing those arms back to the sky. Palms together, straighten your legs. We're going to turn to face now to your right. So right foot forward, lift the back heel, bend both knees into your high lunge and tuck that tailbone under. Breathe. One more breath. Lean forward, reach those fingertips back, palms face down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice. Holding that pose for one more breath. So getting strong through those legs. Swing those arms to the sky as you inhale. Good, so left hand will come onto the outside of your right knee, thigh, and then your right arm reaches back, palm face open. So high lunge with a bit of a spinal twist here. Two more breaths. Good, and then we swing those arms back to the sky. One more breath in, palms together, straighten your legs. We're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold with a arm bind. So release your arms, take a clasp behind your back. So something along like this. Your palms don't have to touch. You can have your palms a little bit wider. If you're finding this is a little bit challenging, you can always grab a hold of a strap or a t-shirt or a towel to help you get that opening. So once you're in your position, bend your knees a little, open the chest up, look up, big deep breath in, and we fold at the hips and lower the head towards the mat and pull the arms up over your head. So the focus here is, yes, we are stretching the back of the legs, but we really want opening through the shoulders. So don't worry too much about your legs being straight. We want your spine to lengthen here. And the arms are reaching up over the head. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths. Good. Bend the knees, sit your hips back, look forward. So you're now in sort of a halfway position. From here, big deep breath in, come up with a nice tall open chest and relax your arms. Let's go into some shoulder rolls. 5 to 7, circling around. So good. And again, both directions. We're going to keep our legs wide. All we're going to do is bring the heels in. We're going to swoop the left arm underneath your right. Now, not everyone is going to be able to bind. If you can bind, great. If not, you can keep a slight separation. If this is still a bit too much for your shoulders, bring right hand over your left and come into this variation here. We're going to drop into our goddess squat as we did earlier. So either with eagle arms or with your twisted arm variation. From here, lift the arms up, pull the hands away from you. Keep that tailbone reaching down, head to the sky. Try and look straight through those hands. 2 more breaths. Holding strong. Now, if you can, we're gonna hold the legs and not come up. Release your arms, swoop the right arm underneath, or left hand goes on top and reaching up. So choose your variation. Keep the legs strong, tailbone down, head lifting to the sky. See if you can lower down for maybe 3 more breaths here. Doing great. Lower down. We're going to stay with our legs wide. Release your arms. Bring your palms onto the thighs. Lean forward. Push your hips back. So your knees are still wide. We're going to turn to look over the right shoulder. Press your left leg back. Breathe. Keep looking up high, twisting and rotating that neck. All right, up and over to the other side. Push your right leg back. Look over the left shoulder. Look up. This will help to stretch your eye muscles. All right, and release, come back to center. Hands to the ground. Push those heels out one more time. Wide-legged forward fold. Take one more breath here. Excellent. All right, let's lower the knees down onto the ground. Tuck the toes under. So into your thunderbolt pose. Sitting up tall. Now, I know for some, this is a really intense position. You can always come up onto the knees, but keep the toes tucked under. We do some neck rolls, just a half circle today. From one shoulder up and over, down and over to the other side. And breathe. Nice. And bring it back to center. Untuck those toes. Tap the tops of the feet. Release that pressure. Let's come onto your bottoms. We're going to come into Navasana, boat pose. So this one here is tricky, just depending on, once you figure out what variation works for you, then you can choose, you can go straight into it. So option one, easiest one, is you keep your feet down and you hold the chest up, but the shoulders are down. So if they're up here, lower them down. You can hold on to the legs, which is the easiest one. So you're not quite leaning back. You can take your hands down or reach forward. So if that's where your level is, start there. So either hands, legs, hands on the ground, or hands forward. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can do the same with just the toes touching, or if you are a little bit more stronger in the core, again, you can hold legs, floor, or reach forward. Find your variation. Hold that pose. Shoulders down, chest up. Bring your legs closer together. Maybe extend the legs up if you're able to for 4. Keep lifting for 3. I did say we're going to do core. For 2. And 1. Hug them in. Lower down, feet together. Come into your butterfly. 1 more breath. Excellent. Okay, 1 more little chest opener. So bring your hands behind you. Hands flat. Feet grounded, pull the chest back, shoulders back, chest open. We're going to swing those hips up. Push the floor away from you. So nice opening through the front of the body. Contract those buttocks. 2 more breaths. And roll back down. We're gonna do 1 more boat pose. Come into your variation. We've got 5 breaths. Sitting on the root of a tree as I balance here. This is good. Almost there. 3, 2, draw that belly in, shoulders down. And 1, release, feet back down, hands behind your back, swing those hips up. 1 more reverse tabletop. And lower back down. Come onto your backs, knees to chest, hug them in. Maybe rock side to side, maybe just hold your pose. And sometimes hugging the knees in doesn't feel good, so maybe prefer to just hug from the back of your hamstrings. Always remember, whichever variation feels more comfortable, the quicker you're going to release tension. Now, there is a balance, of course. You don't want to be too comfortable where you don't feel anything. You still want to progress. Okay, 1 more breath here. And then release the legs down, either knees bent or legs extended. Shake the legs out, shake the hands out as well. Take a nice big deep breath in. Let your body relax. We've come to the end of this practice today. Just spend a few moments here grounding your energy. So feel your body on the ground where you are, on the mat. It doesn't matter where you are. Feel and connect with your breath. And commit to a deep breath in, to a nice calming breath out. Do that 2 more times. And as you breathe out, release any remaining tension, any stress, any form of negativity. Now you can stay here. Once you complete your breath, you can stay here for a few more minutes, really just integrating your practice and just taking some time for yourself today. Or if you'd like to wrap up here, thank you for joining me. My name is Theodora. You can join me anytime, anywhere, and feel free to leave your comments below. Thank you. Have a beautiful morning, day, or evening wherever you are. And always remember, you are enough, you are amazing, you are a divine being of light. And keep shining wherever you are. Thank you.